Hello aspirants, so welcome to the second class of syllabus decoding, and in today's class we are going to decode the NPSC GS Paper-II. I hope you have watched the decoding of the NPSC GS Paper-I. If you haven't, then please go and check it out. So let us decode the NPSC GS Paper-II in today's class according to the latest NPSC syllabus. So NPSC GS Paper-II is very similar to the UPSC GS Paper-II. Basically has got five major subjects, okay, which are the governance, constitution, polity, social justice, and the international relation. And these five major subjects, five major pillars together, you will have to study almost 24 core units, okay. And if I talk about the subtopic, these 24 core units will have almost around 120 subtopics, which we are going to discuss in the later part, okay. So now if you see here in your unit 1, okay, in the pillar 1, first of all you will have to study the Indian polity and constitution, because Indian polity and constitution nearly forms 40% of the GS Paper-II. But please be mindful that in the old pattern Indian polity was quite factual, but in the latest pattern, as it has clearly been mentioned, it will be of UPSC pattern, so you can expect the static plus the dynamic portion merging together, okay, and you can get the question based on the current events, okay. So in the unit 1 you will have to study about the constitutional development, which we all have studied even in the old pattern only. Constitutional development means the historical underpinnings, background, and the acts which you will have to study. Then you will have to study the development of the constituent assembly, committees, drafting process, okay, and the making of the constitution. All of this information you will need to have, okay. In the unit 2 you will have to study the constitutional development, and from here, okay, I feel that in the latest pattern a lot of question will come, okay. So in the constitutional development you will have to learn about the nature of the constitution. Now the nature of the constitution itself is a broad subject, like you will have to study about constitutional constitutional morality, okay, constitutional autonomy, egalitarian constitution. Apart from that, you have to know and understand, the features of the constitution, then the federal systems in the constitution, the parliamentary system of the constitution, unitary feature in the constitution, secularism, okay. So federal, system, like you have to understand what is the difference between cooperative federalism, competitive federalism, dual federalism. You have to dive a little deep in the new syllabus. Then okay, you have to understand even the evolution of the basic structure doctrine. We all have studied about the case 1 and the Bharati case, okay. So that is how you have to understand that is how you will have to understand, okay, the constitutional development. In the unit 3, okay, you have to understand the constitutional provision, like the fundamental right, DPSP, fundamental duties, judicial review especially, which is very, very important. All the important constitutional amendment, like the 42nd constitution amendment, which is also known as the mini constitution, okay, and the procedures of amending the constitution. In the unit 4, as I said, federalism, okay, and the important part, okay, of Indian federal structure, like the central state relation, financial relation, administrative relation, legislative relation, okay. You have to understand this federal structure in a very like depth way, okay, in the latest pattern, okay. Apart from this, you also have to study these important topics like the zonal council, water dispute, interstate councils, okay, emergency provision, like the national emergency, state emergency. Are you getting the point? President rule under 365, under 356. So you have to understand, okay, what are the conditions required for imposing 356, imposing 365, okay. So these are the important topic which you will need to cover in the okay, unit 4, that is federalism, okay. Then apart from these, okay, you have to study the unit 5, which is the local governance. In the local government, okay, you have to study the Panchayati Raj system, then urban local bodies, okay, 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, which enforce them, State Finance Commission, who form the State Finance Commission, formation, challenges of the local governance, what are the red tapeism they face, what are the bureaucratic and administrative delays they face, these are very, very very important thing. So just learning about the Panchayati Raj and the urban local bodies are not enough. You also have to understand how much autonomy they get, the limitation of autonomy, the bureaucratic, the red tapeism, the limited autonomy which they get. So all of the challenges, way forward, you will have to understand of the local self-government, which is very, very important. Okay, then we will go to the unit 6. Okay, in the unit 6, you have to study the separation of power, legislature, executive, judiciary, check and balance, the doctrine of separation of power. You have to study in that. What is the difference between the separation of power in USA, the separation of power in India? Like USA has two separation of power, India has we call it fusion of power, okay, as the executive are carved out from the legislature. So such important differences you will have to know, okay, in that. Now apart from this, okay, you have to study the parliament and the state legislature, okay, who forms the parliament. Parliament consists of the president, the Rajya Sabha, the Lok Sabha, okay, the role of the president, the role of the parliament, the Rajya Sabha, the role of the Lok Sabha, who can pass a bill, what kind of bill can be passed, what are the bill Rajya Sabha can pass, what are the bill Lok Sabha can pass, okay. So all the kind of ordinary bill, money bill, constitutional amendment bill, which house can pass, which house can initiate, what the other house can do. So you have to learn in depth. These are very, very important things. Okay, these are just not okay, going to be okay, a lesson where your factual information will be tested, but now in the GS paper 2, okay, the analytical reasoning will be checked, the analytical ability will be checked of an aspirant, okay. So you have to study the parliament very well, Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, state legislature, okay, legislative council, legislative procedures, parliamentary committees. You see each year UPSC is asking, okay, questions on the parliamentary committee, okay. And if you see here now, parliamentary committees are playing a very, very crucial role, in scrutinizing all the bills, okay, and all the legal, okay, notifications, power and the privileges, parliamentary devices, question hour, okay, 0 hour, adjournment motion, the adjournment motion is very, very important. No confidence motion, which house can initiate the no confidence motion, okay. All of these, topics you will have to learn in depth. Okay, now apart from this, okay, in the unit 8, apart from this, in the unit 8, okay, you all have to study about the executive, the union executive, the president, the vice president. President is a very, very important personality, okay. He is the first citizen of India. So you will have to understand the president legislative power, president executive power, president ordinance making power, president pardoning power, military power. Very important that you know the okay, roles of the executives, prime minister, council of minister, cabinet, chief minister, governor. Now when we talk about the governor, very important, because the governor of Nagaland has special power. So what are the special power of the governor of Nagaland? You got a point, right? To maintain the law and order situation in the state, okay. So these are the insights that you have to know in the polity. That means you have to enter a little more depth, okay, when you are studying this topic. So in the old pattern, we try to study everything in a factual way. We just try to segregate and understand the main important factual information. But now you have to correlate, okay, all of this, okay, information. So now the current affair based question will come of all of this topic which I am mentioning to you, okay. If anything is in the news, definitely NPSC may try to, okay, pick that and may try to form, okay, a question, okay, just to check your understanding, okay, on the particular personality or on the particular, okay, this one topic. Okay, now going forward, okay, if you see here, if you see here in the unit 8, you have to study the judiciary, okay, that is the Supreme Court, the High Court, the subordinate courts, okay. Then you will have to study the judicial activism, judicial review, okay, PIL, tribunals like NGT, and you really have to, okay, go in deep, and you need to understand the recent judicial activism which the judiciary is taking out, okay. Then you have to understand even the subordinate court very well, the family court, the national Lok Adalats, okay. Then your gram nyalaya, okay, then your other kind of courts that we have, okay. So which are the matter that the Supreme Court deal with, the civil, criminal, the constitutional matter, okay, how someone can directly reach to the Supreme Court, okay, without going through the district court, what are the matter, like the matter relating to the fundamental right, you got the point, right, the matter relating to the center state, so what are the matter which directly give you the access, okay, to the Supreme Court. So such kind of understanding you will need to develop. Only factual information will not do. Factual information, the difference between the reads of the Supreme Court and the High Court, okay, the jurisdiction, all of these things are fine, but how Supreme Court acts as a guardian of the Constitution, how Supreme Court act as the custodian of the Constitution, the recent reforms, okay, of the Supreme Court. So you have to learn all of these things now in the new syllabus. Okay, now going forward, if you see here, in the unit 10 you have to learn about the constitutional bodies, okay, and you all know that this entire year, okay, you see the election commission is in the news, okay. So why the election commission is in the news, okay, which article, article 324 I believe, okay, deals with the election commission, what is the role of the election commission, why election commission is called as the Ayaram and the Gayaram, you got a point, right, okay, what is the mandate of the election commission, okay, UPSC, how UPSC has to conduct all India service officers, how UPSC has to train the officers, recruit the officers, state PCS, finance commission, what is the role of the finance commission, okay, what is the role of the CAG, is CAG is really the guardian of the public purse, or CAG is just a post-mortem agency, you got a point, right, okay. So analytical, understanding, okay, of all the topics are required even in the constitutional bodies. Okay, now going forward, you have to study the statutory bodies, okay, Niti Aayog, okay, SEBI, IRDAI, UGC, AICTE, Lokpal, CBI, all of these statutory body, what is their role, okay, in preventing terrorism, in preventing money laundering, in the growth and development of the the growth and development of the nation, how Niti Aayog is working, you got a point, right, okay, like what is the difference between the planning commission and the Niti Aayog, what is the action agenda of the Niti Aayog, okay, what are the reports says of the Niti Aayog, okay. So all of these things you will have to learn, okay, in the statutory bodies. Now in the unit 12 you have to understand the Representation of People Act, okay, the elections, the disqualification of MP, MLAs, anti-defection, who can decide an anti-defection, electoral reforms, criminalization of politics, electoral bond debate, the data that you have to know, okay, on the criminalization of politics, okay, in the present Parliament of India, how many MPs, has criminal cases against them. Are you getting a point, right, okay. And not only these, okay, about the anti-defection, is anti-defection, okay, okay, is working in the spirit of the Constitution, is anti-defection a democratic element, okay, to suspend an MP, you got a point, right, okay. That is how you will have to understand now, okay. So now going forward, okay, unit 12, unit 13, pressure group, you have to understand the business association, the farmer group, the NGO, the civil societies, okay, their role, okay, in nation building, okay. Then apart from this, okay, so yeah, so pillar 1, you have basically all the Indian polity syllabus which you have already studied, but now you have to go a little in depth, okay, has to understand it, okay, in a more, okay, analytical way, or you should be able to, okay, you should be able to also interlink it with the current affairs, okay, very important. Now the next subject is your governance, the pillar 2, okay, is governance, and in the governance we are going to basically study about the government policies, interventions, schemes and missions of the government for different sector, okay. So we are going to study about what are the government policies in the health sector, okay, education sector, like the new education policy, okay, women and child development, poverty elevation, okay, poverty elevation like the BGG Ramji, okay, which was erstwhile, which was called Manrega, okay, rural development scheme, urban development scheme, okay, skill development scheme, scheme. So there are other department also, okay, which we will have to study. Okay, so basically in the governance we are going to study, okay, the government policies in the core department: health, education, women, poverty, rural, urban, skill development. Okay, getting the point. Then apart from these, okay, we are also going to study in the governance sector the major government schemes and the missions, you know, okay, like the Beti Bachao Beti Padhao, okay, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, you know, Smart City Mission, Amrut Mission, you know, okay, Amrut Mission, National you know, okay, Digital India Mission, you know, okay, National Infrastructure Pipeline, NIP, Startup India, PM Jan Dhan Yojana, Manrega, okay, Manrega now you know, okay, it is called BGG Ramji, you know, okay, Ayushman Bharat, okay, PM Awas Yojana, Jal Jeevan Mission. How many people are getting benefited, you know, okay, from these schemes, from these missions, you know, okay. So basically in the governance we are going to study about the government policies, schemes, missions, okay. And then not only this, okay, we are also going to learn about the developmental process, okay, that is the developmental process of the NGOs, self-help group, cooperatives, trust, society, you know, okay, the CSR initiative, the corporate social responsibility initiatives, you know, okay. Then going forward, okay, we are going to study in the governance transparency and accountability which is a very, very important part of the government. We are going to study about the RTI Act, okay, then social audit, whistleblower protection act, citizen charter, you know, okay, which is very, very important. Then, you know, okay, Lokpal, Lokayog, Sabotem model, accountability mechanism that the government has, you know, okay. So all of these things, okay, which we are going to study in the governance. Okay, now going forward, okay, apart from the policies, you know, schemes, mission, accountability, we are also going to study about the e-governance in the, you know, governance, the application of e-governance, the model of e-governance, success stories in the e-governance, how e-governance is reaching, you know, okay, to the grassroots level, you know, okay, and how e-governance is a very important tool, you know, okay, of democracy, you know, okay. Then the challenges of the e-governance, national digital governance, emerging technology in the governance. What are the emerging technology in the governance? Okay, so now going forward, okay, we are also going to study in the governance sector, okay, about the civil services. Though we are going to study, okay, the role of civil services in democracy, neutrality, accountability, bureaucratic reforms. What are the bureaucratic reforms, you know, okay, has been taken, political interference in the civil services, okay, ethical administration, citizen centric governance. So civil services also is a very, very important part, you know, okay, of the governance sector. Okay, now going forward, okay, we are going to study the social justice. So guys, please understand, all the aspirants, that in this video I'm just going topic by topic, so that you will aware that inside every subject what are the topics you have to study. Okay, so if I explain everything, I won't have time, the video will go for 3-4 hours. Okay, so as I just want to give you guys, okay, a comprehensive introduction of the GS paper-II, so that you will know that, okay, in the polity section I will study this, in the governance sector section I will study this. So I'm just, you know, okay, going with the flow. Okay, I'm just, you know, okay, letting you know the topics. Okay, I won't explain it. So in the pillar 3, that is the subject, you know, okay, social justice. Okay, you are going to study the welfare, you are going to study, okay, the welfare, you know, okay, the welfare. Okay, if you see here, one second. Yeah, so in the subject 3, okay, we have to study social justice. Okay, in the GS paper-II, in the social justice, basically we study the welfare of the vulnerable section, you know, okay, like the welfare of the SC/ST commissions, SC/ST communities. You got a point, right? Okay, after that the OBC, the minorities, the women, you know, okay, the children, the elderly, the transgender community, you know, okay, what are the initiatives being taken, you know, okay, which body, you know, okay, look into the welfare of the SC/ST, like the National Commission for Scheduled Caste, National Commission for the Scheduled Tribe, right? Okay, so all of these, you know, okay, things which we are going to study in the social justice section, you know, okay, what are the atrocities being committed against the SC/STs, and how the government is coming up with policies and interventions, you know, to prevent that, you know, okay, and how the constitutional body act as a guardian, you know, okay, to prevent the atrocities committed against the SC/ST minorities, you know, okay, women. Are you guys getting it? Okay, so this is what is social justice. Okay, so apart from the welfare of the vulnerable section, okay, we are also going to study, you know, okay, the social legislation like the SC/ST Prevention of Atrocities Act, okay, very important, Forest Right Act, Domestic Violence Act, Dowry Prohibition Act, POSCO Act, you know, okay, you see POSCO is these days is in the news in Nagaland, you know. Before we get to hear the POSCO only in the mainland India, but even these days the POSCO is flooded in the Nagaland, you know, okay, newspapers, right? Okay, then the Child Marriage Act, Sexual Harassment Act, Right of Personality with Disabilities, Senior Citizen Act, okay, all of these social legislation also we will have to study under the social justice. Okay, now going forward, okay, you see we have to study the health. Okay, in the social justice, in the health, okay, we have to study about the healthcare system, national health policy, national health mission, maternal health, child health, disease burden, you know, okay. So in the disease burden, you see how many people die of communicable diseases, how many people die of non-communicable diseases. You got a point, right? Okay, like how many women has, how much percentage of women in India, you know, okay, has anemia, you know, okay. We have to learn all of this maternal health of the woman, like how many data like says that around I do not have the exact data, but you know, many percentage of women, you know, die while giving birth. You got a point, right? Child had almost a significant amount of you know, children in India are having malnutrition. You got a point, right? So you need to learn all of this data, then you need to understand what are the policies, the schemes the government has got. Okay, then universal health coverage, the Ayushman Bharat, you know, okay, health infrastructure, how is the health infrastructure of India has. So you see the condition of our government hospitals. You got a point, right? Okay, so e-Sanjeevani, you got a point, right? Okay, national telemedicine, you got it right? Okay, so what are the government, what are the schemes, the mission, the project the government is bringing to strengthen the health infrastructure in India. Okay, after that, public health challenges, NFHS, you got a point, right? Okay, so how the national family and health survey is helping the government, you know, okay, to understand the health, you know, infrastructure in India, health domain in India, what are the policies they are coming with. Okay, so very important unit, okay, under the social justice. Then going forward, okay, you have to also study the education and the human resource, the education system in India. How is our, you know, okay, education system. Okay, then what are the, you know, okay, schemes, missions, you know, okay, project the government has launched to strengthen the education system, educational infrastructure, you know, okay, so how many percentage of children drop out of the school. You got a point, right? Okay, and how the midday meal scheme, you know, okay, and such are helping, you know, okay, the helping the children, you know, okay, to come, you know, for study because of this, you know, okay, meals. Okay, apart from this, the literacy rate we have to see, we have to study the new education policy, SR report, skill development, human capital formation, employability, demographic dividend. So education and human resource is a very important topic under the, you know, okay, your social justice. Okay, where human capital formation we have to learn, education system we will need to learn, you know, okay, education system, okay, SSA, RMSA, you got a point, right? Okay, and what are the digital initiative also in the sector, in the education sector. Okay, so all of these things we will have to learn. Now going forward, in the unit 24 under the social justice, we have to learn about the poverty and hunger. Okay, poverty, what does the data says about the poverty? SDG 1, says no poverty. You got a point, right? SDG 2 is zero hunger, right? Okay, what are the aims of government of India? What are the developments taking place? What are the initiative, mission launch has been launched to achieve the SDG 1, no poverty, and SDG 2, zero hunger, food security, nutrition, how government is coping up with the malnutrition, how government is trying to control the malnutrition, NFSA, midday meal scheme, SDGs, all the 17 SDGs you need to learn, poverty alleviation program, how government has come up with the poverty alleviation program, right? Okay, so all of these things you will have to learn under the poverty and the hunger section in the social justice. Okay, now going forward, we reach to the pillar 4, that is subject 4, which is the international relation, which is also one of my favorite subject. Okay, because in international relation, like you will have to develop an idea about how India maintain a very close relation, with its neighboring countries. How is India's relation with the neighboring countries like Nepal, Bhutan, Myanmar, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Maldives, how is India's relation with the South Asian countries? How is India's relation with the the Middle East countries? How is India's relation with the European countries? How is India's relation with the superpower countries like USA, Russia, China? India's role in the United Nations. So in the international relation, we are going to learn everything in detail, starting from the India and its neighborhood. Okay, first, then we are going to study about the major powers that I said, the superpowers, USA, Russia, Japan, European Union. You got a point, right? Okay, then we are going to study in the international relation. Okay, we are going to study about the regional and the global grouping, how India is a part of this grouping, and how this grouping, being a part of this group, how India, is contributing, in the development of the world. You got a point, right? And how this grouping, is helping India to come up as a global leader. You got a point, right? Okay, like the G20, like the G20, SCO, BRICS, Asian, BIMSTEC. You got a point, right? Okay, so all of these, international, regional and global grouping, we are going to study in detail. Not only this, there are others also, which we have to study in the unit 27. Okay, now going forward, we have to study about the global issue. In the international relation, everything is not in relation. We also have to see there are issues also, like the South China Sea issue, Belt and Road Initiative, trade war, which we are getting to hear, in the news every day, energy security, right? How this how this recent oil crisis has impacted the Indian economy, how India has to be energy self-sufficient, how India has to cut down its oil dependency, and how India has to come up with the alternative on the sector like the agriculture and the transport sector, like electric vehicle, so that if the vehicles in India are operating through the electricity, then then we will not have to depend on the oil. You got a point, right? Solar pumps and all. So climate diplomacy is there. Then WTO reforms, the UN reforms, global supply chain. So these are very, very important issues which we have to study in depth, in the international relation. Right now I'm just going through like in a dictated way, in a dictation way, so that you will understand that these are the issues which we have to study. But when we take your classes, we will study each and every issue in detail. Please understand this. Now going forward, Going forward, okay, we also have to study the Indian diaspora, okay, the diaspora diplomacy especially, which is very very important, you know, okay, diplomacy. Then going forward, you know, okay, we have to study, okay, on the unit 30, the international organization. We also have to study this organization because these organizations are very very important organization, like the United Nations, okay, International Monetary Fund, World Bank, WTO, WHO, you know, okay, Asian Development Bank, Commonwealth, you know, okay, then World Economic Forum. So we also need to have a very good understanding, you know, okay, about the role and the responsibility of this, you know, okay, international organization. So guys, here is your NPSC GS paper 2 decoded in the latest syllabus. Okay, I want you to pay attention to each and every subtopic, which are very very important. There can be more addition to the subtopic, but as of now these are the core subtopics, okay, which you have to study if you want to get us or secure a good mark in the NPSC GS paper 2. Okay, now in the next session we are going to decode the NPSC GS paper 3. Please make sure that you are sharing this, you know, okay, link of this video to all the aspirants, you know, who are even staying in the remote region, so that with this video, you know, at least they will get to know about how NPSC GS paper 2 will look like, because it's not only about 200 marks, it's also about what you have to study to get this 200 mark. Okay, so thank you so much.